Everyone, it's Shalani here, also known as the Disruptive Nutritionist from Live Alive, here to go against the norm again, this time about breakfast. So we're often told that breakfast is the healthiest or most important meal of the day, and I wonder if it really is. It looks like it could have been a marketing campaign that led us to believe that, which is often the way that many of the myths and beliefs that we have today come about, because someone has a product to sell or some sort of agenda like that. So that's why it's really important for us to be aware, but also really important for us to listen to our bodies. So as it turns out, when I'm talking to clients in my clinic or at a seminar or whatever, when I ask people, how they feel about breakfast, there are many people who just aren't hungry in the morning, and they're forcing themselves to have breakfast because they're told it's the healthiest and most important meal of the day. And I sort of think that when you have to force something and it's causing you stress, then it's probably not that healthy for you. And so my sort of belief is listen to your body and eat when you're hungry. So I think where it can become unhealthy is that for many people, they wake up and they're not hungry in the morning, but then when they are hungry, they grab something that's not very healthy. So, a muffin or whatever. And that's when it's an unhealthy thing to do. So I suggest that if you are someone who isn't hungry when you wake up in the morning, then just have something ready to go for when you are. So I've changed throughout the years. Sometimes I wake up in the morning, I go through periods where I'm absolutely ravenous and have a big breakfast, and other times I don't. And currently I'm in a I'm not hungry in the mornings phase, and I have been for quite some time. There are the odd morning when I get up and I'm like, gee, I'm absolutely starving, and I'll eat because I'm listening to my body. But on the whole, I find that I wake up, I get on with my day, exercise and start in my clinic or go off to work or whatever I'm doing, and it tends to be round about 11 o'clock that I don't go by the clock at all, but I've just noticed it tends to be round about 11 o'clock in the morning. I get hungry. Sometimes it can be as late as 1 o'clock, and so then I eat something and I make sure it's really healthy. So if I'm at home, that's easy. I can whip something up. But if I'm not, if I've got to leave the house early in the morning or whatever, which is often the case, then I'll just make sure that I've got some of last night's dinner or a frittata or something that's ready to go that I can take with me, so that when I feel hungry, I'm able to eat and I've got something healthy to eat. And I think it's also, I also think it's quite a good idea in this day and age. We've got food available to us 24/7, and that's not really natural. And also we're sleeping less hours, which means the more you're awake, the more sorry, I think we lost connection there. This seems to happen on every feed, live or feed. Anyway, I was saying that food's available 24/7. We're sleeping less, so we're eating more and more often and more frequently, and we're not really giving our digestive system a good break either. So either way, whether you're someone who is hungry in the morning or not, I don't really recommend eating later than 8 o'clock at night, because your body's already naturally trying to get into a ready to go to sleep or a rest and rejuvenation sort of phase. So it really doesn't want to have to be worrying about digesting food. But it also, if you are, so it's a good idea that you stop eating then. And so the beauty also of if most people, when they're getting up in the morning to have breakfast, are doing it quite early, and there's not been a really good period of time for them to digest their food. So so most people, I think, from what I've gathered, the people who've been really relieved about not having to eat breakfast in the morning, they tend to report back that how good that they feel by not eating breakfast. So they might notice an increase in energy, they might notice a decrease in digestive symptoms that they've been having, which is probably correlates with their digestive system being able to have a bit of a break and do its job. Often they think clearer, and they can have their weight can be managed better. They might lose weight if that's what they need to do, or maintain a good weight balance. And often really good, they report better energy. So that's just a few of the benefits from listening to your body, because your body innately knows. Which brings me to children. So with children under the age of 5, or then, at any age actually, they're self-regulating. So, we come in and sort of screw it up by telling them not to listen to their intuition and their instincts, but and as we did with ourselves. And that's why we're all finding it so hard now when someone like me says, well, listen to your body. There's no one size fits all. And everyone's like, just tell me what to do. And your body will tell you what to do. So with children, though, it gets a bit tricky once they're going into care or into school, because meal times are at specific times. So in those situations, it's probably a good idea to either give them something little to eat before they go, or just make sure that what you've given them for morning tea is really nutritious and satisfying. I don't actually recommend, and as you know, if you've been following me for a while, you know I'm not into an anything of natural food, and I don't think sugar is toxic and evil and all those sorts of things. I think we just got led along it, or lost our way a little bit when we started eating pre-prepared food that probably had more sugar and things like that, and the whole low-fat thing that increased the amount of sugar we were eating. So we just needed to be more aware. However, I do tend to find for a lot of people that it's not a good idea to have something sweet at breakfast time, regardless of, obviously it's going to be dependent on what that is and how much fat and protein's in it as well, but it's probably a good idea to start off with something savoury, and then have something sweet after that if you want. Have yummy homemade cake or a piece of chocolate or whatever, which is often what I'll do. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but just not to start off with it. I just find it's not satiating for a lot of people, and a lot will report that they're hungry soon after. So try it and see. As I say, there's no one size fits all. It's whatever suits you, and listen to your body and how you're feeling. So that's about it, I think. As always, what I share on this page are my views from my experience and my beliefs, unless I've stated otherwise, and they're just provided as food for thought for you. So I love the interaction after these live Facebook things, so keep your comments coming, and by all means share if you think it might be helpful for anyone. It helps my reach and I really appreciate it. And thanks for listening. Remember, health is an inside job, so listen to your body, take a deep breath and live alive. Thanks.